sister's about to have a baby, and in my family that means it's time to make her postpartum herb bath, which is a tradition that my mom started when she was birthing babies. My mom had 7 babies, birthed 6 of them at home, and did this with all of them and swears by it. It's essentially going to be the most giant tea bag that you ever did see. You make it into a bath that you have directly after birth or within the first couple of days after birth, and it is very, very healing. Internally, externally, and for your baby. We're also gonna make a little postpartum care package, and every time I've made this herb bath on TikTok, it's gotten a load of questions, so I'm gonna try and answer them all here. The first ingredient is shepherd's purse. This is a well-known blood coagulant. It's full of vitamin K, which helps blood to clot. The next ingredient is going to be comfrey. This is quite a forgiving recipe. It's not rocket science. Anybody can get these herbs and put them together, but there are a few key components. My mom's original recipe has shepherd's purse, comfrey, and Youtheory. To complete the bath, you also need a whole bulb of garlic and a cup of sea salt, but we'll come back to that. I am adding to the recipe yarrow and calendula. You can also add things like oat straw, witch hazel flowers, plantain. The world is your oyster. But these should be your core herbs. Yes, I have my notes here. Don't get it twisted. I use notes. I might know the basics about a lot of these herbs, but I am not about to get on the internet and tell people the wrong information just because I wanted to memorize it and look cool. So I always research things before I share about them and work from notes. Now we're gonna measure out our herbs. Prepare to be shocked. We're gonna use an insane amount of herbs because this is not a little sitz bath. This is supposed to be a deeply, richly, dark, herbal medicine healing bath. This is serious business. My mom used 1/2 pound each of shepherd's purse, Youtheory, and comfrey. We're gonna use a little bit yet less because we're also doing calendula and yarrow just for space purposes. Starting with the shepherd's purse. This has been used for centuries for blood healing purposes. It is a coagulant. It's full of vitamin K, which helps your blood to clot. That's the shot that they give to babies after they're born to make sure they don't have any internal bleeding. It's a vasoconstrictor, so it will constrict your veins and has been used for everything from PMS and amenorrhea, which is like excessive bleeding during your menstrual cycle, to bloody noses and varicose veins and bruising, all of the above. This is not quite a 1/2 pound, it's about 0.4, but honestly, the specific measurements I think don't really matter. You just want a pile. Oh, all of the herbs that I'm using in this bath are from Mountain Rose Herbs. Super great quality, all organic, and honestly really well priced. This whole herb bath with the amounts that I'm using comes out to like $58. Not bad as part of your birth plan. Now, to buy the herbs is about maybe double that because I'm using kind of like half of a bag. Yeah, this is a pound bag. So $100, all these herbs, and you can use them for so many things afterwards. Anyways, I digress. Comfrey is up next. This stuff is traditionally known as bone knit because it is that good at healing. It is a demulcent, meaning it soothes irritation, and it's anti-inflammatory. It's an astringent, so it like tightens skin cells. Think like a toner, like a witch hazel or something on your face, kind of like tightens your face, that kind of vibe. It also really helps with swelling and bruises and has something in it called allantoin. Helps skin cells to literally grow, which is why they call it bone knit. They say it can grow your bones back together. I don't know, haven't tried that, but so they say. Next up is Youtheory. We're doing a similar amount of this, about like 0.4 of a pound. Don't ask me to do math. This one is antimicrobial, antiseptic, strongly so, and will help to tone and tighten the tissues. So we're just trying to bring some extra help in the initial like healing of everything, bringing it back together, helping to close up any wounds, any tearing, helping your muscles begin to contract. Speaking of contraction, shepherd's purse can help with uterine contractions as well. I'm not sure if that's only if taken by mouth or if topically it will also do that. But of course, after birth, you're wanting your uterus to begin contracting to heal and come back down to size. All right, then yarrow, we're gonna go in with like a 1/4 pound of this. Really good for pain relief. It is also anti-inflammatory. It should help to relax muscles, which again, even though you're wanting them to contract and come back to normal, they've also been through a lot, so they need to relax in order to be able to do so properly. So about a 1/4 pound of yarrow. You probably see this growing all over the place. It's one of the easiest like common weed herbs to spot, although there is a similar herb that is poisonous, hemlock. So maybe look into that. But yarrow is easy to spot. It has pretty flowers up on top and then like little feathery leaves down on the bottom. Look it up. Look it up. Don't go picking hemlock. So again, if you're wondering, do I really need this many herbs? Can I just do a small amount and do it as a sitz bath? Of course you can do a smaller amount of this blend as a sitz bath, but that's not going to do the same thing. The reason that this is so intense is that obviously when you've just given birth, you have like a huge gaping wound inside of you, as well as sometimes on the outside. And for a while, some doctors have told women like not to get a bath for a few days after birth, up to like weeks, because you don't want anything getting up inside of you and causing any infection. Obviously that is understandable. Also, if you've got any stitches, there's a point at which you don't want to be taking baths because you want your stitches to dry up, right? But in this window right after you give birth, when everything is still like freshly open, having this bath is so healing, even allowing it to get like up inside, like having it deep enough to kind of just cover your legs, so it can go internally as well. And the reason why it's safe is because the sheer concentration of all of the antimicrobial, antiseptic herbs, etc., and what we add to them at the end creates an aseptic environment, as in like antiseptic, non-septic. It kills all of the bacteria that would be in that water, even though we shouldn't really have a problem with that in most like Western places these days still, and makes it a very safe bath to take for both you and for the baby. And this can be really healing as well for a baby's umbilical cord site and help it to dry up really quickly. And just a really nice calming experience for mom and baby together, especially after just like the trauma of birth. Even a really easy and beautiful birth is still like so intense that it can feel traumatic. And for me, going into this bath right afterward and bringing my baby in with it just felt like such a good like closure to that intense time. I sat in my bath for a while. Baby Zimri was in there with me for just a minute, and then the midwives took him to kind of like do all his checks, and my sister fed me broth while I sat in this bath, and it was really, really special. And so I'm happy to pass that along to my sister. She's actually supposed to give birth like literally any day, and she lives in California, so I'm really hoping that this gets to her in time. This is calendula. It is anti-inflammatory. It is very soothing. It should help with itching and pain relief. It's another antiseptic herb also, so it will help to create this safe aseptic environment in the bath. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do for now in this bath. Again, you can add more things to it if you like. Just make sure that they are, you know, safe for wound healing. So what we're gonna do now is tie this up, not too tightly, into a giant tea bag. We wanna seal everything in there, but you don't ideally want it so tight that the herbs themselves can't like move around a little bit. And now here is how this is to be used. I will put a description of this in the description as well, but When you go into labor, all right, you're gonna wanna bring a big pot of water to the boil. Obviously, it's gonna need to be a big pot, all right? Put this tea bag in and turn it down to a simmer. Then add a bulb of garlic. Get a whole bulb of organic garlic. You're gonna slice off just the top little bit so that it exposes all of the like garlic kernels. God, what are they called? Whatever. So it exposes all of the garlic, right? Throw that in there. Simmer for like 30 minutes to an hour, kind of lowish. And then you're gonna turn it off or put it to just like warm and leave it for like as long as you like, until you have the baby, okay? And bear in mind, you should assign somebody else to do this. Somebody should be the herb bath person, or you can just start this at the beginning of your labor and then turn it off, right? And then, after you have your baby, you're going to have somebody draw a bath for you. This can be within the first 3 days after having a baby. So even if you go to the hospital to have your baby, come home and do this. If you have a C-section, it is still going to be helpful for you because you still have the same internal wound. It won't be as helpful externally, and you might have to be careful of your C-section scar. I honestly am just nervous to give advice there because I don't have experience with C-sections, and neither did my mom and a lot of the people that I know that have used baths like this. So I don't know specifically. I would think that the logic is the same, that like right after the wound has healed, like, or right after you've received the wound before it has begun to heal, it would still be helpful to have this on there. Maybe you could just do a little compress of it or just splash some of the water up onto that wound. Anyways, after you have your baby, whenever you're ready, you're gonna draw a bath, a nice warm bath, make it just deep enough for you to sit in, for it to come up and cover your like pubic bone, basically. You're gonna add to that bath a full cup of sea salt. Let it dissolve, swish it all around in there to dissolve, okay? And then you are going to take this tea bag out of your pot of water, squeeze it out so that all of the water in here can get out into your pot, okay? You're gonna take the bits of garlic out, and there's gonna be little bits of herbs and stuff in that pot of water. You wanna get as much of that out as possible. So you want to get maybe like a fine mesh strainer or like a strainer and line it with one of these cheesecloths, you know, and pour that mixture through the strainer into your bath. So it should have like no little bits in it. You don't want little bits. Sit in that bath for 30 minutes at least. 20, 30 minutes, an hour if you feel like it. You can have baby come into the bath with you. You can like gently splash them. Again, the whole point is that the garlic mixed with the sea salt, very, very key. That is going to be strongly antimicrobial, antibacterial, and help to create this aseptic environment that is perfectly safe for you and your baby to sit in. Enjoy it. Allow it to be like a kind of symbolic cleansing, a closing of this time. You and your baby focus together, or if baby can't be there, that's totally fine. Just a moment for you. Trust me on this. If you don't have a bathtub and you still want to utilize something like this, you can make up a blend like this. It doesn't have to be this big, but just steep it really long and really strong, and you can put it on pads and sit on them, like soak the pads and sit on them. If you like the padsicle thing, with my first, when I tore quite badly, I liked the frozen padsicles for the cooling, and I froze a sitz bath like this onto those padsicles. I didn't like the padsicles with my second because I didn't really tear, and so it just felt cold. You can do this for a little sitz bath. You can get little sitz bath containers that you put over your toilet. You can put it in your peri bottle. You can take you can mix it all up. Take like a cup size amount of this and boil it, prepare it the same, minus the salt and the garlic, and then pour it into a mason jar like this and keep that jar by your toilet and refill your peri bottle with it and use that to clean yourself for the first couple of days, like after you go to the bathroom or just in general, like clean up. Super, super healing. It's going to be very helpful. I think I had a jar of herbal tonic like that in my bathroom for like the first 2 weeks postpartum. and just used it every opportunity that I could. So there's a lot of different ways to utilize this if you don't want to do the full-blown herbal bath, or you can't for whatever reason. And again, then you don't have to mix up quite as giant of a batch. Anyways, there's that. Now we're going to put together a little postpartum box for her, and I just realized I don't know if I have an actual box. Be right back. By the way, I did not do this with my first, and it took me a while to heal. Bearing in mind, I was quite more severely torn with my first. With my second, I had like just a little tiny tear, very normal, no stitches, but I did this herb bath, and my midwife came back the next day and said, "This is insane, your tear is like gone. It's all healed together, I can barely see anything." And she was shocked, and I think I know why. It's tomorrow. Things happen, and now she's feeling labory, so we have to get this sent. I also found some string, and that is a much better way of sealing this because it will be more thoroughly sealed while staying loose. So we're gonna do that instead really quick. Kenza is with me, and he's making a nice card for Auntie Kath and the new baby.
No, a nice letter.
A letter.
Yeah, and that's what I'm making. Can you?
Let's do this.
Can you open mine? Can you open mine?
Yes. Still possibly too big.
I do a cross.
Perfect. Okay. First thing going in, obviously, I would put instructions and stuff, but my mom is there and they know what to do. But whatever. Alright. I'm also sending a little newborn baby girl outfit because this is her first baby girl. We have hardly any baby girls in our family, and so this is just very exciting. Look how adorable.
That'd be great for a girl.
Yeah, wouldn't it? So we have our cutie little clothes. We also have just a little hand-me-down organic cotton muslin that we used. So when I'm making a postpartum care box, what I'm thinking about is physical healing, like the herb bath and things like that. But then I'm also thinking about like a little pampering for the mom. I'm thinking about mental and emotional well-being and just anything that would be a blessing alongside things that I found super helpful with recovery. But like, you don't have to put certain things in. Like, anything is going to be nice if it is serving the mother in her recovery journey. So that being said, I am including this tincture. It's called After Ease. It's by Wishgarden, and this is specifically formulated for post-birth contractions because they are no joke, and they get worse after every baby. And so baby number 4, I'm sure is going to be intense. It's black haw bark, yarrow, motherwort, and cramp bark. I'm also sending her my favorite beef liver capsules. These are from Beef Fertile. These are grass-fed and finished beef from New Zealand, like whole food supplements. It's just dried ground beef liver, which is like nature's multivitamin. It has everything in it. Oh, this doesn't list all of the stuff on it, but it has like all of the micronutrients, folate, copper, iron, really good stuff for postpartum. Like, you know, they say you should continue taking your prenatal postpartum, but obviously a lot of prenatals aren't like super great quality, and it's hard to get ones that are, and you'd have to take whatever. I think that a beef liver supplement alongside like some vitamin C and other things is a great place to start for postpartum. Sending this Pain Away Magnesium Cream. This is from the Healing Haus, house spelled H-A-U-S. It smells so good, and this should help with just any like aches and pains after birth. Probably even help with those uterine contractions if you rubbed it on the uterus. We have a few little liquid capsules of collagen and K2D3, just because I had these hanging around, and those are also going to be easy for her to just add to her water and get a little bit of extra nutrition. I'm sending her these JOCKO hydration packs. Again, like half of this stuff is things that I've like halfway used. But again, just easy little packets that she can add to her water, because hydration is super, super key postpartum, especially when you're breastfeeding. Like all of this, the micronutrients, like deep nutrition and hydration is really important for milk supply.
What those are?
Yeah, they're for putting in your water. Maybe we can keep one and you can try it, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Let's keep one.
Okay. These, I couldn't find the element ones, which are, you know, supposedly so good. These are pretty good though. They do have some sugarcane, like a small amount in it, and silicon dioxide, which I don't think is great, but like compared to a lot of other ones, these are pretty good. Teas postpartum, you want raspberry leaf and nettle. You could get fancy and include all kinds of other things, but these are the basics. Raspberry leaf is going to help with toning the uterus. So while it works so well all through pregnancy to strengthen your uterus, it also helps postpartum with, oh,
Take it.
we're just going for it. Oh, you want it in your LaCroix?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna react funny with the bubbles. Wait a sec, oh, it's bubbly. Ah. Okay, where was I? Raspberry leaf. It will help heal the uterus. It'll help speed up that process. So you wanna ideally be drinking like a couple cups of it every day. This was all I could get at our health food store, is all they had. Oh my goodness. Oh, it is, it's making it bubble over. Ah! Could you go get a cloth, please?
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, I love your card. It's looking great. Go get a cloth and we'll clean this up so it doesn't mess with your cloth. So in general, the loose leaf is like going to be a little bit better quality and just stronger because you can use larger amounts than a tea bag. But also, if it's loose leaf, then either you, the postpartum mom, or somebody else has to like prepare it and use a strainer and all of that. So I got some of these like tea filters, tea bags, and I'm just gonna make her own tea bags. The only thing is they don't have like a sealing thing on the top, so that could be annoying. Oh, you're supposed to like let it hang over the side. Well, we'll see how this goes. Usually the measurements are like a kind of palm full for a good strong cup of tea. This is probably a large palm full, but yeah, so I'm gonna use this little scoop for each. So all she'll need to do to brew this or the nettle is just hot water and like let it sit for 10 minutes or so. You could also brew up a big batch all at once and just have it in the fridge. But ideally when you're healing from anything really, but especially from birth, you want to try and stick with like warm foods and drinks at least the first couple of weeks. I know it's hard to, but like you for sure don't want to be like chugging ice cold things because the warmth, the heat in your body will help with the healing process. And so you want to keep yourself feeling like warm and snuggly and safe. Just you and your baby, snuggled up in bed, wearing fuzzy socks, drinking tea. Dreamy, honestly. Thank you. Wipe up the table. And I think there's some on the floor. Please. Thank you. No.
Okay.
No.
Not.
No.
I'm not.
Okay, I think I might just send her these ones done up and then this bag, just in case she wants to do any like large bulk brewing, or maybe it's because I'm lazy.
Two.
All right, nettle, we're gonna do the same with that. And nettle is super good postpartum just because it is a nutritive herb. Also very iron rich, and I think calcium, vitamin C, a lot of micronutrients and minerals. So it's really, really helpful for just replenishing your stores because baby takes a lot. I'm not gonna lie, they're cute and all, but they really suck you dry.
I hope you have a good night.
Yes, I will write that. One second. I'm going to pause the video.
Yeah.
Labeled efficiently. 6 tea bags and a little baggie of tea. Another great tea to have postpartum, especially if someone's having postpartum anxiety or just stress or anything. Ah, mosquitoes. Is oat straw. It's unnerving and it's really, really good for calming, and it's also great for milk supply. I think this baby is the 24th grandkid in our family, but of those, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls so far. Okay, baby girl, what else we got? We got some lanolin nipple cream, the good stuff. You never know if you're gonna need it. You don't want to be stuck without it if you do. I'm also sending her some face masks. We've got some Pacifica, some Burt's Bees, one from Humankind, which I absolutely love, and some little eye patches too. Easy pampering for mom. I'm also sending her a couple of my favorite skincare things. This is a hydrating accelerator mist from Josh Rosebrook, which is just like so good. And when you're feeling a little crusty, you know, and you want a little pick-me-up, a little spritz of this. And another one of my absolute favorite products. This is the Cactus Concentrate, Intense Hydration Cactus Concentrate from Bambu Earth. I think they only drop this like once a year. And I snagged 2 jars of it. It is so good. Like, it is so good. It takes me from feeling like super dry and worn out to feeling luscious. I'm just focused on uncrustifying ourselves, you know? I'm sending a couple little treats, but she has some like dietary restrictions, so there's not a lot that I can necessarily send right now, but I'm sending these ginger chews, which I am just currently obsessed with. I don't know if she will be, but I hope that she is. And some Lily's dark chocolate with sea salt. Ah! The comb that I held during labor. I don't think this will arrive before she actually has the baby, but just in case it does, she can hold this comb and use it as counter pressure during contractions. It's very helpful. A book for all of those long days nursing and staying in bed. This is one that I personally loved after I had my first. It's called Rewilding Motherhood. Discover an empowered feminine spirituality in the midst of motherhood. It's very good. I think that she'll particularly like it. It's by Shannon Evans. And last but not least, what was that? We have a little lip balm from Primarily Pure. Really nice ingredients. I know she likes lip balm, so. And lastly, she has 3 older boys who I'm sure will be needing some amusement. So I just got a few little things for them. These like dino painting crafts, paint by sticker book. And for the youngest, who is the same age as Kenza, 3, I got one of these like no mess coloring books. You know.
Mom, is that for me?
Nope.
Let me see what it is.
It's complete. She's looking a little bit empty, so we're gonna have to stuff it quite substantially. But I love doing this. If you are wanting to send something to a postpartum mom or bring them like a care package, for one, if you are living in the vicinity of a postpartum mom, best thing you can do is go over and either just like drop food at their door and run away, or if they want to have visitors, go do their dishes or whatever. Don't like hold their baby and get them to serve you at all, you know, but just like bring food and do dishes. But if you're sending something to a faraway postpartum mom, just think about her particular circumstance and what you know about her and what would bless her, because often in the first weeks, months postpartum, moms don't think about themselves a lot because they're really so engrossed in their baby and their other children and their family. And so just anything that can serve them in their body, but also their heart and their spirit, and help them feel just seen and cared for, I think is really nice. Oh my gosh, I forgot. I have a couple gift cards for her. Ah! I almost forgot. Also, a little DoorDash gift card because I won't be there to make her meals. And a Target gift card. I know we're trying to boycott the big businesses, but if you're just a new mom and you just need some stuff and Target is there and they can drop off and whatever, then so be it. She can get some diapers. I am going to get this sent off to her immediately and hope that she doesn't have this baby before it arrives. I hope this gave some good ideas, but of course, like, remember, you don't have to send a big box full of stuff if you can't afford it, if you don't have time or energy, whatever. There are so many ways to support postpartum moms. Send them money for a meal, Instacart them something, literally just support them by just saying, hey, I heard you had a baby, hope you're doing well, let me know how I can help. Just check in on them. If you don't hear from them for ages, don't be offended by it. That is a great blessing and service, because it can be really hard to stay on top of things and in touch with friends and connected as a new mom, especially with your first baby. So just have grace for them and be there for them when they're ready and when they need it is one of the biggest things that you can offer a postpartum mom. But if you do want to do something other than that, if in doubt, food. Just send them food.